right, the video is a little bit silly, but it makes a very strong point for people that are now beginning to pay attention to crypto and are beginning to FOMO in. It's gonna go just like he said, itai, 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 which is Japanese for ouch, ouch, ouch. You know, you start off, you're buying a little bit, you didn't really accumulate during the winter. Now we're pushing up to 64,000 on Bitcoin, and people are going to begin to buy high and they're going to begin to sell low in panic. And so I want you guys to have that visual. I always try to bring you something a little entertaining, but also to make a distinct point. Don't get wrecked right now in your crypto trading. And the way you're not going to get wrecked is be careful with the greed, be careful with the FOMO. Right now, I think more people are going to be experiencing FOMO, and as a result, they're going to buy the top. So you say, okay, Josh, what do we do? Well, I'm going to tell you. Bitcoin is experiencing Bitcoin dominance, and we haven't really seen a lot of the altcoins run. Now, they're way up from their lows, many of them 100%, 200%, 60%, but they've really not taken off the way Bitcoin has. And so when Bitcoin got up to around 50,000, a lot of people thought the run was over. Very easy to assume. Strong resistance at 51,000. But the fact that we got up to 64,000 was a signal that Bitcoin was still moving in a dominant way. And what that means is when Bitcoin is moving in a dominant way, it means that money is still flowing into it. Now, at the point that people finally think that Bitcoin is going to cool off for more than a day, people are going to begin to take money out of Bitcoin and they're going to spread it in the altcoins beneath Bitcoin. Ethereum is going to be one that will peak after Bitcoin, and then after that, you're going to see the legacy large cap coins, then you're going to see the micro coins, and then you're going to see the meme coins. Now, I'm going to get into a couple of my swing trades on the meme coins that I brought to you guys about a month ago that have been somewhat dormant when I brought it to you. Would have been a great time to buy and accumulate because we're beginning to see the move that I had foreseen, as well as the fact that we've had an interesting news day. I'm going to cover some problems that we've had in crypto that I think are going to have a big impact on you that are actually quite upsetting to me. We're going to talk about crypto crisis and crypto today. This is the Stocks with Josh show. As always, I appreciate the likes. It's the likes that you give generously that push the video out to more viewers. And this is a small page. I'm still growing, but I'm expecting it to really take off in the years to come. So please be part of that. Hit that like for me. Keep pushing the video out. Hit this subscribe to join this Stocks with Josh party. On this Monday, I did a video when Bitcoin was 51,000, and I predicted that we were going to get up into a range, which we got right up into, and I think that that's the range I predicted, and I think that we're going to see some cooling off. People are going to say, okay, Josh, are you telling us to take profit on Bitcoin? I'm not selling a single Bitcoin. And I'm going to get into a dire warning news release that came out today by Michael Saylor to let everybody know what he's doing. And I can tell you that he's the king of diamond handing Bitcoin, and he's got a dire warning for us today. We're going to go over that in just a minute. But the big question that I've got to start off with today is what is going on with Coinbase? If like many, you went to your Coinbase wallet today to see how much money you were up, you were surprised when you saw the big fat zero in your Coinbase wallet. And while Bitcoin was spiking up to 64,000, you weren't able to sell any because it told you you had zero in your account. Here is what their message that eventually came, because for a long time there was no response from them. It just showed zero. A couple hours later, they gave this update. Site degraded performance. We are aware that some users may see a zero balance and may experience errors in buying or selling. Our team is investigating the issue and will provide an update shortly. Man, this is so not good enough, and this is so sus that on the very day, within the hours in which Bitcoin is going to reach an all-time high, Coinbase locks out millions of retail sellers or buyers. It is extremely sus. This is the type of nonsense that I've been expecting to see in the 2024-2025 Bitcoin rally, where these type of companies, we're going to call them Robin Hood, robbing the hood, Coinbase, these are the big platforms for retail audiences to come in and participate on the big moves in Wall Street or in cryptocurrency. And yet again, at a critical moment, it was retail that got locked out. I guarantee you, BlackRock was able to sell some of their Bitcoin. I guarantee you that you were the only ones that were locked out when everybody else was able to do whatever they wanted. For me, it's extremely concerning to see something like that. Let me know in the comments section if you were affected. Now you say, okay, Josh, were you planning on selling? No, I wasn't. But that was beside the point. The fact that I couldn't make decisions on crypto and money that I had in my Coinbase that I had transferred into Coinbase to be in a position to sell, or some swing trades that I had going, the fact that I couldn't touch them or do anything with them in that account was very concerning to me. I don't intend to sell until we get into maybe October of 2025 on my Bitcoin. That's my plan. I'm holding it long. Doesn't matter if it came down all the way to 40,000 right now. I'm just going to hold it because I don't want to get locked out. The fact is, this is getting away from many. It's not getting away from me. I bought my entire Bitcoin position in the winter, well below 30K, and so it's all good for me at this point. Now, who else is doing pretty good right now? Well, Michael Saylor. And he's done a couple tweets I'm going to share with you. So the day before we had this big push up, which seemed like it was obviously in a bull run, he came out and said on February 27th, he said, "You do not sell your Bitcoin." Michael Saylor. In addition to that, right after that, he posted another tweet with him famously with the laser eyes, saying, "Laser eyes until Bitcoin arrives." In addition to that, this particular article outlined the fact that not only is this guy not selling, but in the last week when we were around 50,000, he actually bought 3,000 more Bitcoin valued at $155 million. And so honestly, Michael Saylor is the real deal when it comes to being a whale and being bullish on Bitcoin. He is not changing his tune in any way. His dire warning is don't sell right now. This is just the beginning of the move. And now here's where it gets a little bit more interesting, and I want us to break it down. So a friend of the Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto, a guy by the name of Adam Back, founder of Blockstream, has predicted that we will actually be at $100,000 Bitcoin before or at the halving. Now, here's what I think about that, right? First of all, I don't think that's going to happen personally. I don't know. It could happen. I could be wrong, but we're beginning to get a lot of bullish talk. Don't sell your Bitcoin, hodl your Bitcoin. People are buying Bitcoin at the top. And I'm just going to tell you, keep that initial video in mind I gave you today. Starts off good. You're buying a little bit on the buying low and selling high, buying low, selling high. But next thing, you think, oh, this thing is doing great. I'm going to load up. But you're loading up at the wrong time. You're loading up at the top, and then it turns around on you, and then you're buying high and selling low, buying high and selling low, and then the guy at the end gets wrecked. That's my big warning message for you guys today. But Michael Saylor, if you're a bull right now on Bitcoin, he's a bull too, and his buddies are saying that we are going to be getting to all-time highs before the halving, which of course brings us to the area of the next concern. Do you guys think that this rally is going to continue through the halving and that we're going to get into a real markup phase at the halving? That this is just the pre-party, right? We haven't even gotten to the party yet. Personally, I don't think that, because I have learned through my years of trading that whenever everybody thinks something is happening, the opposite is happening. And I'm going to remind you guys that when we were down at 15.5, I called the bottom to the week. I said to you guys, this is the bottom. I actually had a live with the stock squad and I repeated it there. I said, this is the bottom. We're not going to 10,000, right? Everybody believed that we were going lower than that 15.5. Everybody did at that moment. Don't forget that. And I'm telling you that that's where we're at right now. Now, not in regards to moving up from here. I think there's still movement up from here that is possible, even though I'm going to tell you what I'm watching to decide if that's really going to happen. It's going to be the candles. But I am saying that when we get up to 70 to 80,000 and we get closer to the halving, if it goes that way, I personally don't think that we're just going to push through and get up above 100,000 and keep running. I just don't see that. Now, why are we running up the way that we are? Well, Michael Saylor in his article attributed all of it to the spot ETF that we've gotten. It's the accumulation of investment firms that are continuously buying at this stage pre-halving, and that party is going to continue all the way to 100K. But my big concern is this. It could happen. So I'm not telling you guys it won't happen. And I'm not telling you to sell your Bitcoin. I'm not selling my Bitcoin. What I am telling you guys, because I think I'll get a better price, but what I am telling you guys is that when everybody thinks something is going to happen a certain way, when the entire market believes that it's only up, 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 that's when you've got to realize that this is what's called euphoria, bullish euphoria, and the belief that it will never end. And personally, I don't see it. I think that we could potentially, before the halving, get as high as 78K. That to me would be the top shelf. And then from there, we have to assess it. And the fact is that we really haven't gotten a pullback in these markets, which we are getting closer and closer to a pullback. And on that note, February is typically a weak month, and then going into the Ides of March is typically a sketchy place. Now we've gotten through February, and it didn't turn out to be a weak month for the markets. And so we have not experienced a pullback. We're dealing with bullish sentiment everywhere. And when everybody believes that something's going to happen, I think it's when you need to get concerned. Now, interestingly, that Coinbase system came back on after it fell back beneath 60,000 and it was at 59,000. Well, then all of a sudden balances began to show back up in the Coinbase account. Guys, let me know if you're as sus as me on this Coinbase affair today. It's very bothersome. Guys, that's all I've got for you today. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please hit that like for me. If you made it this far, then it must have been good enough to watch. And so please hit the like for me and hit that subscribe to continue to get the next videos. Guys, the market's on a heater. We've got a lot of things popping off. We've got Mara tonight. I've told you about what I'm doing with that. And I'm going to give an update on Tesla today in the Discord. Lots of hot stocks moving. Sound pulling back a little bit. We're going into earnings there Thursday. I told you guys it was time to take profits and hedge, which means to protect to the downside. I told you guys how I'm doing that, but there'll be more updates in the Discord. Don't sleep on the Discord. Click on that link as well. Peace and blessings, my friends. Take care. Talk to you soon.